That's the sound of a big deal. At Wayfair, that sound happens a lot. Dream sofa for half the price? Big deal. New dining table you've been eyeing for months? Big deal. Finally picking up those last few pieces and finishing that bedroom? Now that's a really big deal. Whatever your home needs, Wayfair has the selection, the savings, and over millions of 5-star reviews to back it up. Shop wayfair.com today before someone else snags your big deal.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
What 6 questions do entrepreneurs have to ask themselves in order to be successful? Listen in and find out.
Welcome.
Okay, here's the question.
You serious?
How are we dark horses? You know, the ones everyone is betting against, the ones they don't expect to win, place, or even show on the track, and they'll even laugh on us when we talk about trying. How do we show the world our greatness and triumph?
Come on.
Well, that's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers.
Let's go.
This is The Dark Horse Entrepreneur. My name is Tracy Brinkman.
And push it out.
Well, hello, my Dark Horse friends and family. Welcome back to your daily dose of Change My Life in 15 minutes or less learning. I'm your Dark Horse host, Tracy Brinkman, and you, well, that's infinitely more important. You are a driven entrepreneur or one in the making. Either way, you're here because you're ready to start, restart, kickstart, or just start leveling up with some great marketing, personal, or business tips and results in order to build that beautiful business of yours into the empire it absolutely deserves to be. And that's why I'm here hitting you with another daily success episode on the Dark Horse Entrepreneur as we dive deep into success with actionable advice, tips, and steps designed to help you level up your game, because as we already know, there are no shortcuts to success except for taking those little steps towards your goal every single day. You know, and sometimes those steps, they aren't really getting something done. Sometimes we just have to ask ourselves questions like, you know, what do you need to be a successful entrepreneur? Well, that is one of the questions we have to ask ourselves as entrepreneurs. It's one of the many, right? I mean, it's a question I've heard so many times as I've traveled in my entrepreneurial circles, you could say. The answer? Well, let's start with what you do not have to have, right? You do not have to come from wealth or money, right? I mean, how many times have we heard that, right? You have to have millions. Yeah, look, you don't have to have millions to start a business. We've heard many stories, so many stories, and quite a few of them right here on this show of people that started their business with zero, nada, from scratch, bootstrapping their way up the ladder, right? And you don't have to have some groundbreaking idea. No, you don't have to be the next Jeff Bezos or Zuckerberg or even Melanie Perkins. She founded Canva, by the way. All right, Tracy, I get it. That's what I don't need to have. I got it. What are you going to need? Well, what you are going to need is a burning desire to serve and that dark horse, that driven dark horse mindset to keep going and keep moving forward. But how do you know? How can you tell? Well, let's start with a few core questions, shall we? Question number 1. Who are you? Yeah, you've heard me talk about this one a number of times. You're gonna have to take a good, hard look in the mirror. Turn that gaze inward on yourself. The good, the bad, and the ugly that has made you the person you are right this very minute. You're going to have to stare at those bright, shiny moments, the ones that make you smile with glee, right? Feel that smile grazing right now? Yeah. I mean, and you're also, you're going to have to gaze into those dank, dark moments. Perhaps the ones you fear a little bit, right? Answer yourself who you think you are. Not who your parents think you are, not who the school thinks you are, or your job thinks you are, but who you believe you really are at your very core, right? What do you value? What are your values? Who do you enjoy spending time with? Who do you want to work with? What are your innermost goals? And how do you want to impact your world or the world? Question number 2, what are your core strengths? We're all bad at some things, we're good at others, and we're even more amazing at other things. We have natural talents, core attitudes, and aptitudes that make up who we are and how good we have become at what we do. Do you like speaking, public speaking, right? Getting on podcast speaking, getting on Zoom speaking? Do you like writing, drawing, computer programming? Do you rock it at math, history, analysis, team building? Are you a connector? Are you a facilitator? Are you a leader? Are you a follower, right? After looking at who you are, take some time to really understand your core strengths and, of course, your weaknesses as well. Question number 3, who can you serve? Right? And then who do you want to serve? It's probably the same, can go right underneath that. Now that you've taken some time to reflect inward on who you are and what you are just flippin' amazing at, let's see who can reap the rewards of what it is that you have to share. But, here's the but, and it's a big but. The key here is to be as specific as possible. I think if you try to sell to everyone, even if what you have of value can be of value to everyone, if you try to sell to everyone, you end up selling to no one. So you're going to have to narrow it down. You hear people talk about it. Niche down. Who can you serve first and best? And then you can grow your audience outward from there. And here's a big hint. You're usually going to be serving who you were not too long ago, right? And I can give a great example of a client I had for a number of years. They could have served everyone that enjoyed the outdoors. That's who they could serve. And actually, that's who they sold a lot of their products and services to. They could have served also anyone who enjoyed hunting, right? Nope. They narrowed their focus all the way down to those that enjoyed white-tailed deer hunting, right? Seems like a tiny niche. And it could be from some angles, right? But if you think about it, well, it's not if you think about it, because you might not know anything about it. By recent counts, and I just went back and looked at this before I recorded this, there were 9.1 million people that fit into this so-called tiny niche. Right? Now imagine if they could only get 1% of that. They could make some money out of that, and they did. Question number 4. Where are they? Okay, you know who you are, you know who they are. Now take some time to find out where your who is hanging out, right? Are they on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, YouTube, right? Where are they currently going to get their information, their education? Are there associations, clubs, conferences? I know a lot of them are probably virtual conferences right now, but there are out there. Are there summits that they attend, right? These are all sources where you could tap into and find your who and start listening to their core issues. Then you can use your core strengths to solve them. Oh, and here's another hint. If you are serving who you were not long ago, then you're probably already hanging out there. And if you're hanging out there, you should be listening to the questions they're asking. They're probably the questions you were asking not long ago. Question number 5. What systems do I need? Well, in the beginning, the answer is not much, right? There it is, done. But this question is a question you're going to need to keep asking repeatedly on a periodic basis. And maybe you put it into your calendar to re-ask it every quarter or something like that. Early on, like I said, you probably need an email provider and maybe a hosting service for your website. Don't even need a hosting service. You can use a Facebook page, right? You could use a LinkedIn page even, right? But as you gain traction, you may need things like, a CRM to manage the flow of prospects through the customer journey. We talked about customer journey back on episode 21. If you haven't listened, go check it out. And then later, you might need things like, a page builder, a more robust email provider, an email list manager, right? You're going to build up that email list, got somewhere to store it, a sales funnel, a funnel manager, right? A digital course system where you're going to put all that great knowledge you have. I'm going to put it in a digital course. Okay, well, now you need a sales page. Maybe you're going to do affiliate programming. Now you need an affiliate program, video services and hosting. Oh, and of course, a cart system to make all these wonderful sales. So this is a question, like I said, you're going to need to keep asking yourself. But here's the key. When you ask yourself early on, only get the systems that you need early on. Don't go out there and say, oh man, I need to get that system because I'm going to need it in a year. Wait a year and get it then. Ask yourself, what do I need now? Or maybe what I need between now and the next 60 days. There, get those systems. Those are the systems you need. And then 60 days from now, ask the question again. You may only need those systems that you already got, but you may see this awesome growth and you need some new things. Question number 6, and I think this is a big one. Are you ready to be in charge of it all? Last but not least, are you ready to sit at the grown-ups table and be in charge? I mean, truly in charge of everything in your life. See, this is not like just going to work, putting your time in, getting a check, cashing the checks, and going on from there. Now, you're in charge of everything. Some of you may be, so let me back up here. When I ask the question, are you ready to be in charge of everything? I know that some of you were probably looking at your device going, well, that's a stupid question. Of course I am. But there are those out there, and this is why I'm asking the question. There are those out there, like him over there and her. Yeah, those guys and those gals, right? They're not quite ready yet. They're not quite sure if they want all that responsibility. Yeah, they want all the freedom and they want all the all the rewards. But they're not sure about taking on all that responsibility that comes with all that freedom and all those rewards. Man, my tongue just keeps tripping on my eye teeth today. So if you're not sure, if you're not the person that looked at your listening device that you're listening to me on right now and said, well, of course I am. If you're not sure, then do not step into the entrepreneurial road, because what's going to happen is you're just going to get run right the heck over. But if you're ready, and I mean you are ready, like he is and like she is, right? Then let's flippin' do this thing. All right. So here's a question. Did I miss any? Were there any questions that popped into your head that you think an entrepreneur needs to ask themselves in order to make sure they're going to see success? Let me know. I really want to hear. All right. So tomorrow we're going to chat about finding your voice, right? And that means way more than just speaking. All right. All right, so I know you want to keep getting these daily tips and bits of advice, so go on down there, hit that subscribe button. While you're there, drop us a 5-star rating. Leave some kind words in your review. Let us know what we're doing great, what you'd like us to see us do some more of. And then come on over and get to know us in the Facebook group. You can let me know what other questions you think entrepreneurs should be asking themselves to ensure success. So go to facebook.com, and in that search bar at the top of the screen there, type in Dark Horse Tribe, press enter, and you should find us right at the top of the screen. If for some reason that doesn't work out for you, you can go to your favorite web browser, go to the URL darkhorseschooling.com/darkhorsetribe, and that'll take you right there. I look forward to hearing from you and chatting with you in the group. All right, get out there, run your race, get your results, and let me hear about them. Until tomorrow, think successfully and take action.
Thank you for listening to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
And you know this!
Thanks for tuning in.
Check us out at www.darkhorseschooling.com.
All right.
My name is Tracy Brinkman.